Hello everyone, I'm Diego and I'm one out of 3 triplet flames who are rainbow star people, and welcome to this YouTube channel. If you haven't yet, please like this video and subscribe to this YouTube channel for more content like this. Today I'm going to be talking about the habit Begin with the End in Mind from the book called The 7 Habits of Highly Effective Teens by Sean Covey. However, this book can also be applied to adults as well. Okay? And I am currently in San Juan, Puerto Rico, spending time with family. My mom and my aunt are rooming with me, and they're currently outside of this room doing their own thing. The reason I'm not outside is because I don't want them to talk in the background and be heard while I'm recording this video, because that would be distracting. Also, I brought Bound Sweet with me. I bring Pokemon plushes with me wherever I go because I like to visualize the Pokemon protecting me in my dreams. And actually, I did have a nightmare once, and my Trim ended up saving me from a threat in my dream and used Heal Pulse to heal my wounds. So, I mean, having Pokemon plushes helps me feel safe when I go to sleep. So Bound Sweet is here to protect me, basically, in my dreams. Anyways, that's why I have Pokemon plushes. But that being said, I'm going to start reading about the 7 habits of highly effective teens, starting with habit 2, begin with the end in mind. So this is what it looks like. That's the beginning of the chapter. So the idea of begin with the end in mind is to have an idea of where you want to go before you go there. Okay? Habit 2, begin with the end in mind, means developing a clear picture of where you want to go with your life. It means deciding what your values are and setting goals. So let me talk about something briefly. And it's related to this habit. So I was originally, at the beginning of this summer, going to save money to study music performance and pedagogy at Nazareth University to become a piano teacher. Now, what ended up happening was the program ended up closing down, and I ended up having to change paths because the program closed down and I needed to come up with a new end in mind. Okay, so sometimes you'll have an end in mind and that is your plan A, and then you realize, oh, this isn't going to work out, so I have to go with plan B. So it's always good to come up with a plan B. Okay? So, begin with the end in mind, what it means. You may not realize it, but you do it all the time. Beginning with the end in mind, that is. You draw up a blueprint before you build a house. You read a recipe before you bake a cake. You create an outline before you write a paper. Okay? Okay, so now clear your mind of everything. Don't worry about your school, your friends, your family, or that zit on your forehead. Just focus with me, breathe deeply, and open your mind. In your mind's eye, visualize someone walking towards you about a half a block away. At first, you can't see who it is. As this person gets closer and closer, you suddenly realize, believe it or not, that it's you. But it's not you today, it's you as you would like to be 1 year from now. Now think deeply. What have you done with your life over the past year? How do you feel inside? What do you look like, and what characteristics do you possess? You can float back to reality now. If you were a good sport and actually tried this experiment, you probably got in touch with your deeper self. Okay. So then this part of the book talks about the crossroads of life, where like whatever decision you make can change your future, basically. All right, let's skip forward. I'm gonna get to the part with the personal mission statement. So if it's important to have an end in mind, how do you do it? The best way I've found is to write a personal mission statement. A personal mission statement is like a personal credo or motto that states what your life is about. It's like a blueprint to your life. Countries have constitutions which function like a mission statement. Let me share a few teenage mission statements with you. The first one was contributed by a teen named Beth Hare. First and foremost, I will remain faithful always to my God. I will not underestimate the power of family unity. I will not neglect a true friend, but I will set aside time for myself as well. I will cross my bridges as I come to them, divide and conquer. I will begin all challenges with optimism rather than doubt. I will always maintain a positive self-image and high self-esteem, knowing that all my intentions begin with self-evaluation. Mary Beth Sylvester took her personal mission statement from Sinead O'Connor's song, Emperor's New Clothes. It reads, I will live by my own policies, I will sleep with a clear conscience, and I will sleep in peace. Stephen Strong shared this one. Religion, education, succeeding, productive, exercise, caring, truthful. Respect. Adam Sosna from North Carolina was familiar with the 7 habits of highly effective teens, and he wrote this mission statement. Have confidence in yourself and everyone else around you. Be kind, courteous, and respectful to all people. Set reachable goals. Never lose sight of these goals. Never take simple things for granted. Appreciate other people's differences and see their differences as a great advantage. Ask questions. Strive each day to reach interdependence. Remember that before you can change someone else, you must first change yourself. Speak with your actions, not just with your words. Make the time to help those less fortunate than yourself or those who are having a bad day. Read the 7 habits every day and read this mission statement every day. So I have a personal mission statement that I left in Rochester. I was packing a lot and kind of forgot to bring it with me, but I still remember the first line of it, which is, I put my mental health first. And another line goes, I give myself permission to rest. So I put my mental health first because my mental health has been all over the place in the past 8 years. It's been getting better this year, but I still put it first because it's very important to me. So it really helps to think about what you value before you write this personal mission statement for yourself. And then what I did was I actually want to put my personal mission statement and my goals in a picture frame to put in my room. So that's one of my goals. I have them in my room back in Rochester in a place where I can clearly see them so that I can look at them every once in a while and reflect on whether I am in alignment with my mission statement or not. Okay? So then there's a cute little activity in this book called The Great Discovery. It's very cute. I love it. And it makes this a lot more fun. Okay, so I'm just gonna read it to you and feel free to reflect or pause on any of the parts that I talk about. So like if I ask you a question, feel free to pause the video and maybe write it down in your journal. Think of a person who made a positive difference in your life. What qualities does that person have that you would like to develop? So that was question number 1. Question number 2. Imagine 20 years from now, you are surrounded by the most important people in your life. Who are they and what are they doing with you? And what are you doing? That was question 2. Question 3. If a steel beam 6 inches wide were placed across 2 skyscrapers, for what would you be willing to cross? $1,000, $1 million, your pet, your brother, fame? Think carefully. Question 4. If you could spend one day in a great library studying anything you wanted, what would you study? Question 5. List 10 things you love to do. It could be singing, dancing, looking at magazines, drawing, reading, daydreaming, anything you absolutely love to do. Question 6. Describe a time where you were deeply inspired. Question 7. 5 years from now, your local paper does a story about you and they want to interview 3 people, a parent, a brother or sister, and a friend. What would you want them to say about you? Question 8. Think of something that represents you, a rose, a song, an animal, and why does it represent you? Question 9. If you could spend an hour with any person who ever lived, who would that be, why that person, and what would you ask? Question 10. Everyone has one or more talents. Which of the ones above are you good at? Or write down ones not listed. So here are some talents that I'm going to read, that if you want to choose this talent you can, or you can choose a different one. Good with numbers, good with words, creative thinking, athletics, making things happen, sensing needs, mechanical, artistic, working well with people, memorizing things, decision making, building things, accepting others, predicting what will happen, speaking, writing, dancing, listening, singing, humorous, sharing, music, trivia. Okay, so getting started on your mission statement. So there are 4 easy methods to help you get started writing your own mission statement. Method 1 is to collect quotes. Method 2 is to do a brain dump and speed write about your mission statement for 15 minutes and don't worry about what's coming out. And then take another 15 minutes to edit, rearrange, or make sense of your brain dump. And you can always revise it later on. Method 3 is the retreat. Plan a chunk of time where you can just be alone, think deeply about your life, and then take your time and construct your own mission statement using any method you see fit. Method number 4 is the big lazy. If you're really lazy, use the U.S. Army slogan, be all that you can be, as your personal mission statement. This is just a joke. Okay. So just get started. Don't worry about your mission statement being perfect. You're much better off writing an imperfect rough draft and then improving it or revising it later. Okay? And don't try to make your mission statement like everyone else's. Try to make it unique to you. Okay? So we're gonna jump forward now. So when developing a personal mission statement, watch out for some roadblocks. So try not to give yourself negative labels or stereotypes. Another thing you don't want to do is having it's all over syndrome, where you watch out for when you've made a mistake or 3 and feel so bad about what you've done. So like if you've made some mistakes, just don't be so hard on yourself, okay? And then the third part that you should watch out for is the wrong wall, where you don't want to have an end in mind that leads you in the wrong direction, okay? So now, after you've written your mission statement, you also want to write some goals. So here are 5 keys to goal setting. So one of them is to count the cost. So think about what the pros versus the cons of this goal is, okay? So let's pretend you set a goal to get better grades. Like let's say you're in college or in high school and you're trying to get better grades. What will it require? So you might have to spend more time doing math and grammar and less time hanging out with your friends. That's just an example. And then you want to put your goals in pen, so you want to actually write them down, okay? There's an example here in this book about a girl who ended up having to break up with her toxic boyfriend, and she ended up writing down qualities that she wants her future spouse to have, and then she ended up actually finding that, which is amazing. I did the same thing actually in my journal about the 2 partners that I want to have, and just like what qualities I want them to have. So then the next key is just do it. So actually do the things that you say. So like if you've written down goals, actually do them. So here is an interesting thing that I found kind of cool. To everything there is a season, a time to say I'll try and a time to say I will. Would you lend $2,000 to a business partner who said, I'll try to return it? Would you get married to your partner if they said, I'll try? Get the point? I once heard a story about a captain and a lieutenant. Lieutenant, would you please deliver this letter for me? I'll do my best, sir. No, I don't want you to do your best. I want you to deliver this letter. I'll do it or I'll die, sir. You misunderstand, Lieutenant. I don't want you to die. I want you to deliver this letter. Finally, the lieutenant caught on and said, I will do it, sir. So once you start using the type of language of I will do it, or I'll do it, or I am doing this, that is the type of language you want to have. That's going to get you to actually do the goals that you set out to do. Okay? So use the words I will. Okay? All right. Let's move on to the next part. So whenever there's big life events, you can use momentous moments to make new goals, okay? So like for example, when I found out that the music performance and pedagogy program closed down, I set new goals for myself. So if there's like a big turning point, like a new school year, life-changing experience, breakup, new job, new relationship, second chance, birth, death, anniversary, triumph, setback, moving to a new city, a new season, graduation, marriage, divorce, a new home, a promotion, a demotion, a new look, a new day. If any of those things happen with you in your life, that can be a good chance for you to set a new goal for yourself. Key number 5 is to rope up. So basically the idea is you want to get as many people supporting you in your goal as possible. So the best way to do that is to actually tell people in your life what your goals are and then have them support you in your goals. That's going to make it a lot easier for you to achieve your goals, okay? All right, I'm just going to skip forward. So goals in action can be very powerful, and also sometimes you can turn weaknesses into strengths, and you can make your life extraordinary in doing so. All right. So thank you all so much for sitting through this video. I hope that you are all having a wonderful summer, or whenever you're watching this video, whatever season it happens to be. I hope that you're enjoying it. And until next time, everybody, thank you all so much for sitting through this video. I will come back to post another video about the next habit, which is called Put First Things First. All right, peace out, much love, and may you all be free. And remember that this entire video was inspired by Sean Covey, who wrote The 7 Habits of Highly Effective Teens. Peace out, everybody. Much love, and may you all be free. Mwah.